So I've got our online GDP all set up, so let's get started. So it says write a program that asks the user to pick between 1, 2, and 3. So let's just take it one line at a time. Cout. I like to be nice. I like to say please. Please enter a please enter 1, 2, or 3. Right? And then we can do if we want in line. Let's do cin, and let's give ourselves an integer up here. Int. We'll do first num. Right? And then so first num semicolon. And then next bullet point says ask the user to pick a second number from 1 to 10. So cout, please enter a second number between 1 through 10. Okay. Right, same thing in line, cin, need another variable, right? So we'll go in, we'll do second num. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay, great. So we've got the first two bullet points down. The third one says use a switch statement for the different options. If a user enters 1, okay, so we're going to use a different switch statement for 1, 2, and 3. So let's get started with that. So switch, right? This is how you type a switch statement. Open parentheses, the variable you want to test. So we're going to test the first number, brackets, and then so we want case 1, colon, case 2, colon, and case 3, colon. So now we've got the switch statement set up. There will be more stuff in it, right, with like the code we want to run, but this is how the basic switch statement is. Let's see. If the user enters 1, call a function that tells them if the number is even or odd. Right, so if the user enters 1, we'll do cout your number is. Alright, so we'll just write that, we'll just do the cout in the function. So we'll just call function is even. And we'll do second num, right? Because it's the second number. This is what it's supposed to be. And then we can do a break statement. Right, we need the breaks. Alright, if the user enters 2, call a function that returns their number squared. Alright, so we'll do squared second num. And then break. Okay? And then case 3, call a function that returns their number times 2. So we'll just call it doubled. So write the name of the function, right? And then the parameters, which in this case is second num, semicolon, and then break. Why not? And then it says make a default case that says number not valid. So we missed this earlier, so let's just do default, and then cout your first number was invalid. Okay. And then we'll have it in the code right there. Oh, I think it's automatically in. And yeah, so then after this, we should be done in main, so we can just leave the return 0. Alright, so we've got main down, but see, we used functions, but we didn't write these functions yet. So like I said, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can either declare them up top or write them all up top. I'm just gonna go write them all up top. So let's write the first one, is even. So that one can be a bool. Oh, yeah, I remember what I wanted to do. So we wanted to like a bool is even. So we're gonna have to go edit some of these again. And then we wanted to take an integer, right? So let's call it int x. And so we test to see if it's even, right? So if it's even, if x mod 2 is equal to 0, okay, there's no remainder when you're dividing by 2, then return true. If it's not, we want it to return false. Great. So that's the bool is even done, right? We got our function type, our function name, our parameters, and our body. Right, now let's write the next one. Squared. So let's call this one an integer. All numbers, this should be squared. Integer squared is an integer. So do an int squared. And again, we need to take an integer. We'll do int y this time. Now you could do int second num. It's two different variables though. So for clarity's sake, I'd kind of be careful with how you did that. And so we need to return it squared. So we can do return pow y comma 2. And so you can see that these are kind of short. Like we didn't necessarily need functions for them, but we're getting used to writing functions, okay? And so the next one returns the number times 2, so we can just do another int. Doubled, I think they're called doubled. Oh, I meant to do doubled because double is a thing. Alright, so we'll just doubled. Int z. And then hey, you could even do them all x, but for the sake of, like I said, clarity, I'm making them different variables. Return z times 2. Alright, great. And then within each function, it wants us to write another function that says thank you, goodbye. So that one has to be first, right? We either have to declare it. Well, it doesn't have to be. Alright, so I'm just going to write this one in the beginning. So void, right? Because all we need to do is this cout. So we'll call it goodbye. And it doesn't, we don't need to have it take anything. So then we can just do cout. Thank you. Oh, we forgot our quotes. Cout thank you. Goodbye. I'm putting an exclamation point because I want to. Right, in line. And we don't need a return statement because it's a void. And you see, this one has no parameters in comparison to int x because we didn't use anything from any other functions. All we were doing is printing out a cout statement. So what we can do is we can do ooh. Well, the way I did this, I kind of didn't write this correctly. Okay, so the way I did this is we're just gonna call these functions. So this will print out before this is gonna print out before the other thing does, right? But it's kind of just in the way I wrote it. So it's just the way I worded the question. So we're just kind of gonna run with it. It's okay though. I don't know why. What do you mean goodbye was a capital G? I don't have whatever. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see, since goodbye is before these returns, it's gonna print out first, but that's okay. So let's actually fix this though. So let's do cout your second number is even. And so we're just gonna have this print out as a true or false statement. So if it's even, it'll print out a 1. If it's false, it'll print out 0. Now this isn't the best way to do this for clarity purposes, but I forgot that I wrote this question kind of weird. But it's fine, right? Because we're just doing this to practice for ourselves. We would know that if we wanted it better, we could do even like an if statement, right? You know, actually, let's just do that. If, because we want to do things the right way, right? If it's even, your number is even, else your number is odd. You know what? And this will work. So yeah, we're gonna do things the right way because we want to code the right way. So that's just how you can make it more clarifying. And C out, we could do your number squared is, and then that, and then we can do the same thing here. C out your number times 2 is, yeah. And so let's run it and see if it works. Oh, let's see. Pow, we forgot our C math library. I'm ashamed. Okay, so when using math functions, we gotta include C math. But you know, that's a quick fix. See what the other one was. Expected primary 58. Oh yeah, we forgot to do the semicolon. Okay, let's run this now. Alright, may have had a few errors at start, but here we go. Alright, let's see. 1. Let's see what 1 gives us. Let's do 7. Okay, you see how I said is your number goodbye, print it out first. We could fix this by calling this function out after before the break outside of the other function, but I wanted to clarify the you could do nested functions. What we could actually just do is we could just do thank you. Let's just do thank you, and then we'll just do thanks. Right, and so this way it's not kind of weird. It's just saying thank you. So yeah, I wrote it like that, but it's okay. Let's just do another one. Alright, we'll do 2 this time, and we'll do 8. I want to see what 8 squared is. Alright, so now it's just thanking us. Now it doesn't look as weird. It says your number squared is 64, which is correct. Let's do 3, and we're trying to do double, so let's enter in between 1 and 10. So let's just do 10. Thank you. 2 times your number is 20. And we don't have any input validation on the second number. This switch is acting as an input validation on the first number. We don't have any on the second number, but you know, you could put some if you want, but it's cool. Depends on if it requires it. That's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and hope you all learned something.
Thank you all for making it all the way through this video. Here's a little way of saying thank you.